So hello everybody, welcome to the Marianopolis Student Union debate hosted by the Marianopolis World Review. Here we have Siwen, the MWR moderator. Siwen, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Fall 2020 elections debate. So, I'm Siwen Shen from the Marinopolis Review. Here's how the debate will proceed. First, we'll start with general questions with all the candidates, and then we'll have one specific question for every position. Candidates will then have a Q&A session with each other, and then we'll have some questions from the audience that our team has chosen. In the end, every candidate has 1 minute to make a closing statement. During the debate, we ask that all candidates respect our rules, which are as following. Don't interrupt your opponents. Please mute yourself when it is not your turn to speak. Every candidate has 30 seconds to answer every question. Please respect your speaking time. At 30 seconds, I will ask you to stop. I will have to cut you off or mute you. And of course, please do not swear. So, for the first question, a general question, what makes you the best candidate for the job? First person to speak will be Emily Hong.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Emily Hong, and I'm running for Coordinator of Charities and Volunteering. I think that the thing that makes me the best person for this position is my passion for helping others, simply put. So ever since I was little, I've always had a high level of empathy for other people. And I noticed that this translated through a passion for helping others through organizing activities and raising funds. So for this reason, I think that I am a really good candidate. Plus, I'm very hardworking and I'm committed to everything that I set my mind to. Thank you.
Okay. Next, John Bramos.
Hi, everyone. I believe I am the best person for the position of coordinator of charities and volunteering because of my previous experience. At school, I was always volunteering and helping out and trying to make school a better place for everyone. That's exactly what I want to do at Marianopolis and make your 2 years or 1 year for the second years the best it could be. For that reason, just check out my platform for anything I missed during the day on Instagram at john.for.volunteering. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Pang Zhang.
Hello everyone, my name is Peng. I am a first year student in health science program and I am running for the position of coordinator of charities and volunteering. One of the biggest personality traits that make me suitable for this position is that I am willing to listen to everyone's opinions and suggestions. As a potential coordinator of charities and volunteering, I am willing to be the connector of the students, the outreach officer of the students, and also the cheerleader of the students. Last year, I was very happy to be chosen as a member of prom committee at the Villa Maria. Even the prom never happened.
30 seconds are up, please. I'm sorry.
But okay, so sorry. Thank you very much.
That's okay. Next, Allison Engel.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison. So what makes me different or why I'm the best candidate is first, I have the passion and I'm an active volunteer. So for example, I created the Mary Health and Cure group, which brought together over 380 students from Marianopolis, even before the first day of school. And this running for Congress is not just a sudden declaration for caring for the students at Marianopolis. And I have a vision for you and to continue on your journey to become a better person with volunteering and charity experiences.
Thank you. Next, Cindy Zhao.
Hi guys, so my name is Cindy and I'm running for the position of coordinator of cultural affairs. In my opinion, being open-minded is a very important quality to have as coordinator of cultural affairs. A lot of my friends say that I am not only a great leader, I'm also an awesome listener, which I think is also a very important quality to have. I've done tons of volunteering too, so I've worked with people of all ages, all backgrounds, and growing up, I was in a very culturally diverse area where I met tons of people and traveled around the world without moving my feet.
Thank you. Next, Angeliki Sakaris.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Angelique Harris, and I am running for the position of Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. Through my presidency while in high school, I developed many different competencies and enhanced many of my qualities, such as my leadership, since I was head of class and had to organize activities for the whole grade. I also had many people skills because I had to reach to the students and the teachers. And I've been involved in culture for a very long time. I've been immersed since I've done many years of dance where I learned many different styles, such as Bollywood, cha-cha-cha, flamenco, and all that. So I really have hands-on experience with it.
Thank you. Next, Leo Vanciu.
Hi, my name is Leo Vanchu, and I'm running for cultural affairs. What makes me different is that I'm genuinely invested in this college and in culture. You want to know something? Marianopolis is the only college I applied to. For me, it was always Marianopolis or nothing all the way. Now, is this college perfect? No, by no means it is not. But I think that I have the potential to make a real positive change in cultural affairs. Now, today I speak 5 languages and I want to learn more. This is what I do for fun. Culture is just so much of a big part of my identity. And you deserve a coordinator who will be as invested as I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Gordon.
Hi everyone, my name is Gordon. I'm running for coordinator of cultural affairs. So, growing up, I've always been in a culturally diverse environment, and I've always traveled around the world a lot, which is why I've always been in awe of a lot of cultures. So, what I think makes me different from a lot of the other candidates is actually just mostly my passion and my creativity. So, for example, I guess I've also launched a Minecraft server, a cultural Minecraft server, where everyone can come in and join and experience different cultures. Thank you.
Thank. I apologize. I have missed 2 candidates for coordinator of charities and volunteering. Anne Sophie, please.
Hi. Hi, Marinopolis, and thank you for being here and with us and watching this debate. My name is Anne, and I'm running for coordinator of charities and volunteering. And you might have seen me around at school during Mary Welcome Back event. Apart from the volunteering experience I've had in the past while working with the Commission for Environmental Cooperation, leading the Green Team at my previous school, and donating hats and scarves that I needed myself to Chez Doris, I do believe that I have the skills and determination this position requires. My goal is to make it easier for everyone to get engaged in impactful community initiatives while having fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Theodore?
Yes, hi, I'm Theo, and I'm running for the position of coordinator of charities and volunteering. And I believe that I'm the best candidate for this position because I always look forward to creating new opportunities for students. For example, this summer, I created a new volunteer program at the MUHC, the McGill University Health Center, and I will make sure that every student at Marianopolis is capable of joining it. I've also volunteered during the summer for about 25 hours a week at the MUHC as a wayfinding volunteer.
Thank you. All right. Coordinators of external affair. Let's start with Melissa Young.
Hi everyone, my name is Melissa and I'm running for coordinator of external affairs. What makes me the best candidate, I say, is because I'm very social, but most importantly because I am doing this for my own quote unquote survival, okay? I need to go out and hang out with my friends and I need to be able to do activities, and I understand that you do too. So I am doing this for all of our interest and, you know, my own self-interest. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Elio.
Hello everyone, my name is Elio and I'm running for the coordinator of external affairs position. So I think I'm the best candidate for this position because I like interact with people and make interesting projects. I have the capability to realize my project. I have contacts for the realization of my project. I'm easy to reach out and I am active and organized person. Thank you.
Thank you. Pratham?
Yep. Hi guys, my name is Pratham Mehta and I am in Arts and Sciences and I'm seeking to be your new coordinator of External Affairs. I want to take this moment to talk about leaderships. Who are leaders? Leaders are people that turn vision into reality while putting people's interests first. They're action takers. Having been a CEO of a social startup company, I can confidently state that I have all these skill sets required for this position. And remember, if there's a will, there's always a way.
Thank you. Omar Ahmed?
Hi, my name is Omar Ahmed, and I'm super excited to announce I'll be running for external affairs. And the reason I believe I'm the best candidate for this job is because I have a great deal of experience in organizing projects conducted between two different organizations. One of my most recent projects was a live event that was broadcasted on YouTube and got the attention of many different age groups and ethnicities around the world. You might also recognize me because I actually slid in everyone DMs just to make a very special video for first day of class of 2022. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Thank you. Amir?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amir, and I'm running for the coordinator of external affairs. And I believe I'm the best candidate simply because of my experiences. I have represented many big companies such as Remax and Tonitex on a global level. And I've done some enhancing to the public image. And I've basically done many public speeches. And I think that the job of the coordinator of the external affairs is to represent its institution at best, and I think that's what I was made to do. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe, is there anyone else? Eva?
Yeah, it's Ava.
Yes, sorry.
I didn't get to speak for cultural affairs. So briefly,
Yes.
Hi, I'm Ava. Oh, can I go ahead? I'm
okay.
Ava, and I'm running for coordinator of cultural affairs. So basically, different cultures has always been a really big part of my life. I'm from a multicultural family. So this passion, this drive for equality and learning about different cultures has always been like part of my personality and will always be part of who I am. So that's why I think I'm the best candidate for coordinator of cultural affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's move on to the next.
Siwen?
Yes.
I also didn't get to speak for cultural affairs.
Oh my God. Sorry.
It's no problem.
Okay, you can go now.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name is Yuzang. I'm running for coordinator of cultural affairs. What makes me the ideal candidate is actually my past experiences. When I was in high school, I was in a program dedicated for students who want to enrich their general culture, which is why I actually planned a cultural event night celebrating Beninese culture. I also extremely value adaptability, inclusivity, and open-mindedness, and I think that Marinopolis deserves to have a coordinator of cultural affairs who will offer their all to give you guys inclusive and entertaining activities this year.
Hey, Siwen, we can't hear you.
Siwen, you muted yourself. You have to unmute.
Yeah, you're muted.
Oh my God. Okay, is there anyone else I missed? I will take that as a no. So let's move on to the next general question. Of all the issues in Marinopolis, what is the biggest challenge you will have to face if you're elected for the specific position you're running for, and how would you address it? We will start with Coordinator of External Affairs. So Melissa Young, please.
Hi, so I think the biggest issue we face right now is COVID, actually, because if we want to organize any activities, it will have to be done with social distancing and such. And I think that Marinopolis currently has found a great solution, which is to sell tickets by kind of sessions. And also what I would thinking of doing is kind of to have some activities on Marinopolis campus and some on other CJEP campuses that are bigger, like Dawson, so we can have more people at the same time at that area. Thank you. Sorry, you muted yourself. We can't hear you.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you. So next, Elio.
So I think the biggest issue is the pandemic, the COVID-19, because we don't have the same capability of doing activities, and also to be agreed on a project with the Congress and students. So the project is, so the people like the project. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Pratham Mehta.
So I've asked around people what makes a successful college experience, and you guys answered these two things. You guys want to have meaningful connections and memories that one can cherish their entire life, and you guys want to have the entire full Marinopolis educational aspect. And so my campaign includes all of these two ideas. I plan on doing a Montreal scavenger hunt with many CJEPs in collaboration. The scavenger hunt will be placed in a long period of time, so that we don't have a large influx of students at one place. And for the second point, I plan on bringing up experts in the professional field at the college to give workshops and possibly offer internships.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you.
yes, sorry. Next, Omar Ahmed.
One of the first things I would like to say is definitely COVID, but not only that, we also want to integrate the second years because second years really are important at Marinopolis as well. Therefore, I've actually gotten in contact with Adam Kingsmill, a professional hockey player, and we all know Marinopolis have a very strong team known the Demons, so he'll be joining us to play with us. And I hope to see everyone participation in this event because at the end of the day, if there's a new vision, there will be a new direction. Therefore, I want you guys to vote for change in this case. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Amir.
Well, as mentioned by my peers, I think the biggest issue that we face today is the pandemic. And in order to fix that, I plan on giving you the college experience that you all hope for by coming to Marinopolis. So what I'll be doing is bringing back sport events with other colleges, and while respecting government guidelines, because I know that in other places in other colleges they've started doing that. And I also want to create new types of intercollegiate competitions, such as debate clubs, robotics competitions, and social justice advocacy groups for charity fundings with other colleges such as Vanier and Dawson. I've actually already contacted some of the members.
That's it. I'm sorry. Next will be the candidates for Coordinator of Charities and Volunteering. And Sophie Lin, could you please start?
Hi, so I believe that the biggest challenge for my position, especially in the context of remote learning, is having a feasible program that appeals to all students and organizing fun activities, but in an online environment. And to address this issue, I use my creativity to come up with original ideas for online activities, which include game shows, gaming tournaments, challenges, virtual talks, workshops, online auctions, you name it. I've got plenty of choice. I made sure the ideas I proposed were original, pertinent, and feasible by communicating at length with Trudy St. Croix, student life animator and Congress advisor, which showed great enthusiasm for the ideas I put forth. I also communicated with the charities and received positive feedback. I'm actually meeting the board administration of
That'll be it.
charities.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Okay. Next, Theodore.
Okay, yeah, hi. So I believe that the biggest issue that we have in college is the systems that we have in place for volunteer opportunities. Right now, the college, its stance is very passive. It kind of just waits there and waits for external organizations to contact it. I plan to change that using a new system that I developed to actively reach out to organizations all around Quebec so that we actually have the opportunities that we want in college.
Thank you. Next, Emily Hong.
So I believe that the biggest challenge I'll be facing this year is the transition to online platforms for specifically the fundraising events I plan on organizing. However, I plan on working tightly with the tech committee and different school boards so we can to be able to offer students fun and exciting online activities as well as on-campus activities. I know that some people prefer to stay at home, and I respect that choice. That is for that reason that I'm offering the two choices of activities. But the school board right now is working very hard to create a safe environment for students to be able to still have these activities, and I plan to take advantage of that. Thank you. You're still on mute, Suan.
Thank you. John Ramos.
So yeah, what I think is the biggest difficulty right now is to actually talk to everyone that's watching the debate. Thank you very much for being here tonight. It really helps for you guys to hear our ideas, and I think I can say that talking for everyone. The difficulty is talking to you because my mandate is to find volunteering opportunities and fundraisers that you care about. So any charity you care about, will you decide? It's not me. I really want to take into account all students because I know a lot of students are staying cautious and staying at home. So volunteering opportunities will be offered online
John,
and in person.
I'll have to cut you off. Sorry. Pang Zhang.
I think COVID is a problem that the whole world is facing. The main problem that all the schools are facing now is the safety of the students during activities. That's why I will definitely bring up the idea of create more virtual activities. This could allow people to have more choices, like opportunities around the world, and especially this is very safe. People don't need to worry about how far the place is from their home and how much time they need to get there because you can do it at your home. Thank you.
Thank you. Allison Engel.
So I think our biggest challenge is definitely just motivating people to come and volunteer, because volunteering is truly, if not as important, but even more important than charity work. So that's going to be hard because of the COVID era, obviously. And so I want to solve it by, as much as possible, I want everything to be online so that it's safe for you and also safe for the people who are around you. Everything will be accessible online. We'll have motivational speeches to motivate people to come join us, posters and announcements galore. We'll have everything organized, and I want to be a role model by taking part in volunteering personally so that I can do my best to inform everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was it for coordinators of charity and volunteering. Next will be candidates for coordinator of cultural affairs. Let's start with Cindy Zhao.
So one of the biggest difficulties, I think, for coordinator of cultural affairs to represent all of the cultures at Marinopolis. And I believe that every student should have the chance and the opportunity to be able to represent their culture. All of the activities that I am envisioning and that I am preparing are all activities that you guys can participate to represent your background, your heritage, your culture. And of course, the biggest problem that everyone is facing right now is COVID, of course, with the social distancing, the staying away from others. But you guys have to remember that the possibilities are countless.
Thank you. Angeliki Psycharis.
So I believe that the biggest issue and problem will be that since we live in Montreal, it has a huge cultural diversity. So sometimes it is really difficult to feel represented when you're somewhere. That's why I'd be sending out surveys and polls to find out what backgrounds people come from and what religious groups they're a part of. With that, I'll know how to orient myself and know exactly what type of holidays and activities we could celebrate. Another issue is that not everyone can know if they're satisfied with your activities if they're not on Facebook or on Instagram. That's why I'd be making sure to also send all my ideas and all my plans through Myos. Thank you.
Thank you. Leo wants you.
I think that obviously the biggest issue right now is COVID-19 for cultural affairs. We all want to stay safe, keep each other safe, but at the same time, we need to interact with each other and we all want to share our culture. That's why you should have a coordinator who is ready to adjust to the circumstances, and that's what I'm all about. Now, listen, am I physically flexible? I'm not going to answer that. But am I organizationally flexible? Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you. Paula Vera. You know what? Yu Cheng Lu.
Yes, so after reaching out to cultural and religious clubs execs, as for example the MCSA, the Muslim Student Union, I asked them what can I do to help them, what can I bring to the table? And a lot of them said that right now they are trying to find solutions to deal with the COVID pandemic, which is why I reached out to Trudy, our student life animator. She told me and confirmed that all of my ideas are feasible, which is why that I really want to work hard and I'm more than willing to do so because I have a lot of respect and admiration towards the clubs in our school. So that is something that I am willing to address.
Thank you. Gordon?
So I think the biggest challenge if I'm elected is really just appreciating culture while still having fun. Obviously, because of the current COVID-19 pandemic, it's really hard to meet in person. So, but when it is possible to meet in person, I plan to have cultural bake sales and fundraisers and cultural parties with music and different types of foods from everyone. And I want these fundraisers to be able to go to charities that are voted on by you. So everyone can pitch in for the money and pick which charity they want to go for. But as obviously right now there's still a pandemic, we would still have to resort to online activities. So these online activities I would still like to hold include things like online game shows and events, as well as video game tournaments and fundraisers, to again raise money for charities that will be voted on in public by you.
That will be
Thank
it.
you.
Sorry. Yes, thank you. And Eva?
Yeah. So I think the problem with cultural activities is that they're not concrete enough. For example, like actually, I'll just give my idea that could be more concrete. I want to organize protests. I want to make an online venting space for people who receive hate for their culture or just sometimes feel unsafe, which is very current during these times. And also fundraisers through more fun activities like a Netflix International Film Festival, but just things that actually make change in people's lives. Thank you.
Thank you. And that was it for general questions. Did I miss anyone? I'll take that as a no. So next will be specific questions made for for specific positions, yes. Candidates will have 45 seconds this time to answer these questions. So we will start with charities and volunteering. What charity or charitable cause do you feel the most strongly about and why? You can think about it for 10 seconds, I guess. Allison Engel, can you start?
So the charity that I feel most strongly about is not much of a charity, but a problem in Montreal. So in Montreal, in our caregiving system, a lot of the people, the Montreal people are allophones, so they don't speak English nor French, and they have problems communicating with caregivers, such as women's shelters, communicators, hospital workers. And so I think it's very important for them to be able to voice their opinions and their problems, to avoid stress, to avoid unnecessary testings, and to avoid the health risks for everybody involved. That's why I propose the Mary Volunteer translation services, so that anybody can participate. All you need to do is sign up online, and you can translate for the caregivers to the people in need. So yes, I would like to propose that for my position. Thank you.
Next, Peng Zhang.
I feel most strongly about the vulnerable communities during COVID-19. Nearly everyone is feeling the effects of COVID-19, but some people are struggling more than others. Children in need, those experiencing homelessness, people with disabilities, refugees, and many others have lost access to critical services and programs due to social distancing. I would like to encourage students to pay more attention to them. Money is not the only way to help them, but maybe use the clothes, essentials, even a song could encourage them. That is why I will support a lot vulnerable communities during COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you. John Ramos.
The one cause I have been really immersed in for the last few years has been mental health. A lot of people that know me know that for the last 3 years, I have been part of a committee at my high school called Les Pères Aidants. We were basically there to help students with any problems of mental health, but we were also really involved in the community. We've made several weeks where we went throughout the school showing people how important any mental health problems are and how important it is to know how to feel and know that you are okay and you are included. And the one charity that really helped us was Fondation Jeune en Tête. They helped us with forming people about knowing anything from depression to anxiety and knowing the symptoms. And I also had the opportunity to have a hockey
I
tournament
will
and
have to
give them
cut you
money.
off right now.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Emily Hong.
Hi. So at the moment, the charitable cause that I feel the most strongly about is all the people around the world that are affected by COVID-19 and that don't have the resources to deal with it. So we are fortunate enough to live in a country that is developed and that has where everyone has access to healthcare. Sadly, this is not the situation for everyone, and in many countries who already had unstable economies or healthcare systems in the beginning, well, they are suffering during this pandemic, and they're facing this virus without enough resources. So this is definitely a cause that I care a lot about right now. Thousands of lives are being lost because of this. So as your coordinator of charities and volunteering, I definitely plan on supporting this cause. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Theodore.
Yeah, so my charity that I feel most strongly about is the Kids Help Phone. And it's basically a charity that provides a service for children to talk and to basically express their feelings. Because we often neglect to think about the children that have psychological disorders or that just feel sad or maybe something happened during the day. So this charity just provides all of these kids with a fun texting service that will make sure that they are in a good mental place. This charity also has volunteer opportunities and has fundraisers and stuff like that. So it's really a charity that has many different facets that you can participate in. And as coordinator of charities and volunteering, I plan to incorporate it in student life.
Thank you. And last of charities and volunteering is Anne-Sophie Lin.
Yes, hi. So I really hope you've been following my platform these last few days for my campaign. And if you have, you should know that my program focuses on 3 strategic pillars, so 3 causes I feel very strongly about: environmental protection, sustainability, mental health, and cultural diversity and equity. And I plan on partnering with lots of organizations such as Circles for Reconciliation, the Inuit Tapirut Kanatami organization, organizing the Waste Reduction Week in Canada, at Marinopolis, and I've already reached out and communicated with these charities, which have wrote back to me with positive feedback and confirmed that they would be interested in partnering, and I'm going to meet them next week. So I'm super excited to bring these ideas to life. Thank you.
Thank you. So next we will have questions for Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. Just a second. So due to origins of the virus, ever since the first outbreak of COVID-19, there has been increasing instances of racism against Asians, and in late May, the murder of George Floyd sparked a mass movement against racism led by Black Lives Matter. In such a divisive cultural environment, how will you address these grievances? I'll give you 10 seconds to think about that. Okay, can we start with Eva?
Yeah, sure. So I actually feel very attached to the Black Lives Matter movement, as I am half Black. And so I participate actively in many protests for that. And I would like to bring a group of people at Marinopolis who also feel that passion and desire to promote inclusivity in the Black community, which I feel has been has received a lot of racism. Well, even though we think it's kind of better, it's still pretty horrible. Also, for racism in general, including what Chinese people have endured because of COVID, my online platform, which is anonymous, can help people learn about what they can do to help to be good allies, even though they're not people of color, and also just be a nice venting space for people experiencing any hardships. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Gordon.
All right, so the main thing I want to address here is not only is there a strong hate against Asians due to COVID-19, as well as towards African Americans due to the death of George Floyd, but I feel as if there's also a sort of a disparity and a sort of growing chasm between these two cultures, because at the end of the day, there's just been more and more hate that's been growing. And I plan to address this by really just bringing these two cultures together, because at the end of the day, we're still human and we can still learn to appreciate each other. And I want to do this through events, through cultural events such as the aforementioned parties, the events I mentioned before, such as the parties, online events, and things like that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Yuzheng Lu.
So I feel very, very strongly for both of these causes, both Black Lives Matter and Asian lives as well. I'm Chinese, and I've always been a very big supporter of Black Lives Matter. And in order to address these grievances, I am planning to organize discussions and workshops that can be done virtually. And of course, if possible, I would love to do them on campus additionally, peaceful protests are something that I would also love to organize. I think that it is truly through our learning and curiosity of other cultures that we get to understand other cultures better. So I think that it is very, very important for all of us to educate even more on these issues. And like I previously mentioned, I plan on organizing workshops and discussions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Leo Vanciu.
I care a lot about these issues, and I have since day one. A big part of my plan is supporting all these movements and organizing social distance protests and fundraiser for these issues, and also supporting other such movements such as Indigenous Lives Matter and fighting against Islamophobia. And I don't only want to make once in a year events at the school. I want to make culture more accessible to everyone. And that's why I want to make a platform where you can sign up for the cultural activity of a club without being part of it, so that everyone can discover more cultures without having to sign up to just one club. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Angeliki Psycharis.
Well, after these events, it was completely heartbreaking seeing it happen, especially because it's going on for so long. But it's only now that they're starting to get a bit of recognition, people are actually getting to see it. And yet many people still don't know. That's why my plan is to make monthly Vox Populis, where it's a video montage where you ask students questions about these issues and see what they respond. And more people would be willing to watch these videos because they also spread awareness and their friends are present in the video. So if you see your students and your peers, you'd be most likely to watch it also. Also hosting fundraisers where students can come and spokespersons can come and speak to us. And we can really just all educate ourselves and also make protests as well in order to support these movements. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last candidate of coordinator of cultural affairs is Cindy Zhao.
So, being a Chinese woman myself, COVID-19 has definitely made an impact on the Asian community. I felt it myself personally. My friends around me have felt it. My family has felt it. Everyone around me has felt it. I came from, as I said earlier, a very culturally diverse area. I have friends from all over the world, and I think I can say that most of my friends are from the Black community. And something that we've always done is we've stood tall and we've celebrated each other, which is what kept us all together and strong this whole time. Well, through all the activities that I planned, movie nights, food contest, giant Kahoot game, live performances, and lunch discussion, we can talk about that and educate ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you. And our next question will be for coordinators of external affairs. So, given that there is a pandemic that took over the world, what kind of activity can we expect from the CASAC? How are we going to ensure efficient communication with the other schools? And again, I'll give you about 10 seconds for that.
Sorry, what means Kazakh?
Ah. Yeah, right.
I can do it if you want.
Association of Anglophone CJEPs. Bromo, is that it?
Well, yeah, it's coalition. Coalition. I don't know. Lawrence is the one who came up with the new name. It used to be called COAC. It's easier. But yeah, it's the basically all the coordinator of external affairs. They meet at this. They have this coalition called CASAC, which is of all the Anglophone CJEPs. You guys meet and you guys discuss. It's a committee. So Lawrence was the external affairs, so he would be the best to explain it. But But that's the basically the idea. I mean, you should know that, to be honest, because you're running for the position that implies working in the CASAC, but it used to be called COAC, so maybe you know it by that name.
Okay, so let's start with Amir.
Well, I think the best way to meet with the other coordinators would obviously be by online communication. And what I'm planning to do is I'm planning I've actually already contacted some people who ran for the external affairs at other schools last year, and I checked out the government guidelines for what would be possible and for what would not be possible. And I think it would be truly possible to bring back some sport competitions, and it would be possible to create debate clubs and even robotics competitions. But for debate clubs, we might have to do it online since not all schools have agreed to it. And that's what I plan to do. Thank you.
Thank you. And next is Omar Ahmed.
I personally have gotten in contact with people at John Abbott and Dawson who are already in the position of external affairs. Not only that, I've also already gotten in contact with a professional hockey player, Adam Kingsville. You can also follow him on Instagram. He will be coming to Montreal. He lives in British Columbia, and I know I have excellent communication skills with him, and he will be coming here. And I also play hockey myself, so I know the guidelines. So I promise you, at least there will be a hockey tournament happening because it's happening around Montreal, so it will happen in Marianopolis as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Pratham Mehta.
Thank you. It's pretty simple. The only way we can ensure efficient communication with other schools is to have many activities with other schools. In my campaign, two of my ideas are intercollegiate. The first one being How to Montreal 101, the intercollegiate scavenger hunt. I've mentioned that idea in the previous questions. I'm going to mention the other one. It's called the intercollegiate TED Talk because if we look at it, what's the only unification point between all CJEPs is that CJEP is a place where students go to learn and are dedicated in what they're doing. Just take, for example, our school. We have so many passionate people that know that have taken part of international competitions or research papers, and I want to give them a platform to express their knowledge to other people, to other students that have the similar passions. It would be such a waste if all that knowledge is kept within a single brain. This plan would be done with all the other CJEPs because I know in all the other CJEPs we have the same type of people. Thank you.
Thank you. Elio?
Yes, so I will be sure to make online meetings because we can't meet in real life because of the pandemic. And if when I will organize projects, I will be sure to keep the social distancing. Also, I will go to other CJEP in person to be sure that other students union from other colleges know my project well. Thank you.
Thank you. And last of candidates for Coordinator of External Affairs is Melissa Young.
Hi everyone. So it seems like the other coordinators' ideas are mostly just online meetings, but those kind of suck, let's be honest. And also kind of sports events, which are really fun, but at the same time, I find that sports events are not super inclusive as someone who kind of sucks at all sports. That's not super fun. So my idea is to more organized events that everyone can participate in, mostly outdoor events, so like this we can keep social distancing. Like my s'mores party ideas, or we could have like hot chocolate parties ideas, things that we could do outside during the winter would mostly be cozy things. Like this we could social distance, and you can also invite your friends from other schools. We can also do it at other schools' campuses to just facilitate transportation for different people. Thank you.
Okay, and that was it for the position-specific questions. We will now be moving on to candidates Q&A session. So every candidate gets to ask only one question, and we cannot assure that everyone can ask a question. So when I say so, please type your name in the chat of the Google Meet meeting, and I will take the first name that comes up. As for answers, when I ask you again, you will type your name and I will name you also for answers. Is that okay? Omar, I did not say go yet. I'm sorry. So 3, 2, oh wait, time limit, yes. For your question, please keep it short. Answers will have a 45 seconds limit, if that's understood by everyone. So for questions, 3, 2, 1, go. Oof. Okay. First time I saw Omar, you typed it in before I said go, so I'm sorry. Angeliki.
Okay, hi, my question goes out to you, Zhang Lu. So I saw that yesterday you put that you'd be supporting the LGBTQ plus community. And as a proud ally, I'd love to do the same. But when I contacted the previous coordinator, she told me that it is not directly our job since we only focus on ethnic and religious backgrounds. In that case, as a student, you could help the LGBTQ plus community, but how would you be doing that as a coordinator since it is not our position?
Oh, thank you very much for the question. I agree with you. I think that that is not part of the coordinator of cultural affairs roles. However, I think that it is very important for us to support the LGBTQ plus community. I think that it would be a grave mistake to separate cultural and LGBTQ plus because there's this certain intersectionality, and to me I really value inclusivity, which means that I want to ensure that students of all backgrounds, no matter who they love, no matter what they believe in, no matter what they identify and feel at home at Marianopolis. So to me, supporting the LGBTQ plus community would mean that essentially. However, I do not want to overstep my boundaries. It is really much more about supporting and doing everything that I can. Thank you.
Thank you. So when I say it again, when I say go, you can type your name in the chat to ask a question. Okay? So 3, 2, 1, go. So I think the first one was Allison.
Okay, so my question goes out to Anne-Sophie. So the basis of your campaign is more impact, less hustle. But wouldn't you agree that the so-called hustle is all part of the volunteering and charities experience? Honestly, I strongly agree that you have to put in everything in and commit yourself to others. My goal for Marianopolis students is for them to expand their horizons and gain life experiences, which is why I proposed the idea of transformative experiences. And the Mary Volunteer Translation Service is a prime example of that.
Hey, Allison, thank you so much for your question. So my objective is to make it easier for everyone to get involved. And we all know that students at Marianopolis already have to deal with a very heavy workload. And so my goal is to reach out to everyone. And I don't just have, I have a lot of fun activities, and I also have pretty engaging volunteering opportunities, such as participating in the art workshops that Les Impatients, which is an organization that deals with mental health, organizes. And I've already talked to Les Impatients and secured the partnership. And they are super, super enthusiastic to have this project and to have Marianopolis students go and participate. Another one of the projects of volunteering is the Circles for Reconciliation, which are volunteers who can help promote reconciliation with First Nations and Indigenous communities by organizing circles for reconciliation and bringing together a community of Indigenous and non-Indigenous.
I'm sorry, I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
have to cut you off. Thank you. So again, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so first one is Omer.
Hi, my question goes to Pratham. I wanted to ask him, he speaks about a scavenger event as one of his ideas, a scavenger on Montreal. I wanted to ask him quite briefly, last time Marianopolis tried to do a scavenger event, the second year's participation was not quite successful. How do you plan on making everyone come to do your scavenger event at Montreal when basically most of the people live here and know the Montreal by heart?
Well, thank you, Omar, for this question. But I would have to debate the last part of the sentence where you said people know Montreal by heart. Matter of fact, there are a lot of hidden gems in our local city that people are not aware of. And so my intentions would be, while having social distancing in place, people visit our beautiful island, that is Montreal, and in the same time, people would have the opportunity to connect with students of other CGEPs. So thank you. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. And again, 3, 2, 1, go. First one is Amir.
Yes, Omer, I have a question for you. I see that on your website you mentioned that your main goal is bringing Adam Kingsmill to Marinopolis for hockey competitions and him being our goalie. But how, like, let's say, I'm not sure if everyone at Marinopolis is interested in hockey. So how will you compensate for the people who don't play hockey or care about it?
Thank you very much for your question. To begin with, when people come to Marianopolis, most of the students join the science program or arts and sciences. And Adam Kingsmill is actually in partnership with WARAMS. WARAMS is a nonprofit organization that helps kids who lost their leg or arms at a very young age. And the technology built to make these arms and to put them in human body is quite complicated. And health science students or pure and applied science students, they want to know exactly, because when they want to become a doctor in the future, they really want to know how this body plate can come in place. And the technology is quite fascinating because I've seen it myself. And I've already gotten in contact with WARAMS and they're ready to come just as soon as I get granted external affair position. Thank you very much for your question. I hope that helps.
Thank you. And again, 3, 2, 1, go. Pratham.
Thanks. So my question goes to Amir. So one of your main focal points of the campaign is you're gonna try to organize sports events, debate clubs with other CJEFs. What I fail to see is how is that a new initiative, because we have plenty of clubs of debate of sports that are already doing the same types of thing. And so can you please explain me how it falls under the coordinator of external affairs mandate in order for doing those activities? Thanks.
Yes, Ram, thank you so much for your question. Well, what I plan on doing, I know that these kind of events already happen inside of the school, but what I plan on doing is making sure that other CGEPs and other Anglophone CGEPs such as Vanier and Dawson and John Abbott are able to participate in these activities with us. So what I plan on doing is globalizing these activities. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
And again, 3, 2, 1, go. Melissa?
Thank you. So my question actually goes out to Pratham as well. So you were talking about how you want to do intercollegiate TED Talks. Well, I was wondering how you would actually get people to be interested in, first of all, making the effort to make that TED Talk, and second of all, for those who are spectating, to actually take time to watch a college student talk. Because let's say, well, everybody has like access to like YouTube or Netflix, right? So they have a bunch of other medias that they could watch that might seem more interesting.
Thank you, Melissa. Nice question. By starting, people do have interest in those type of talks. For example, at our college, we have a TED Talk club for specifically that reason. And I've been in contact with other CJEPs too. I have friends going to other CJEPs. And matter of fact, one of my closest friends did a sort of a TED Talk last year. And when I presented this idea, he was really thrilled, and he would like to see those initiatives come up. And as for the interest part of it, I plan on having polls on the Facebook MSU group chat, Facebook group, I mean, so that we know what are people's interests, and accordingly we can pair those interests to people that are available and that have time to make a 30 to 45 minutes talk, talking about that said subject. I hope that answers your question, Alyssa. Thanks.
Thank you. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Emily.
Hi, so my question goes out to Allison. So for your translation service project, you plan on recruiting students with who speak multiple languages with minimal training. However, the possibility of mistranslation still resides. How do you plan on ensuring that these students don't make any errors in translation during their volunteering?
Thank you, Emily, for your question. So I completely understand that that could be a possibility, and I won't deny it. However, I believe that any help is better than none. So this is an issue that I take really closely, that I hold really close to my heart. And I believe that if we do anything, it could help our community. Of course, as I said, there will be minimal training, there will be protocols in place, such as securing like the private information of the people involved. And there will also be, we also have to make sure that the people who volunteer are fluent in the language that they're going to be helping in. And we have to remind them that this is to help the people, and that if they are fluent, that there's ability to help. So just thank you for your question.
Thank you. So next question, 3, 2, 1, go. Pratham, you've already asked a question. But right now, it's 1 question per person. We will see later on.
Sorry.
That's okay. Ilio?
Yes, so I have a question for Pratham. Pratham, you said that you will, like, there is a pandemic now, and we can't meet with people that often, like before. And you said that you will, you plan to make virtual activities and games. What exact virtual activities and game you wish to do online, and how it will work? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. So I've thought about it, and I came up with online virtual escape rooms. That way, people can form into small teams and can connect and play games and try to solve that room together. Matter of fact, I know that McGill have done this initiative at the beginning of this year, and from what I heard, it was an insane hit. People really liked the idea, and so that's why I want to bring the same idea at Marinopolis so that we can all connect within people in the same program. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, there's no questions. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, Anne.
Yes, hi. So my question goes to Allison. In one of your posts, you talk about animal shelters, and I was wondering, how are you planning on making the connection between the organization and the people at Marinopolis, and encouraging them to potentially expose themselves during time of COVID, and how are you planning on dealing with this? Thank you.
Thank you, Anne, for your first thing that I want to bring up is that animals don't carry COVID, so that wouldn't endanger the animals. The only issue right here is that we don't have caregivers and we don't have prospective owners who are giving enough attention to the animals. So that's why I want to propose to team up with different organizations such as Gertie's Adoptions and Rescues company, which I already emailed and reached out to. And so I would like to make this, make the connection between their organization and Marinopolis easy and accessible. I want to spread awareness of important causes that people often overlook, such as animals, during the COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go for our next question.
Steven, quick point of inquiry. Can we ask a second question now? Seeing that people don't.
Yeah, we have time. We have time. It's okay, Siwan, you can go ahead.
Romo, we still need Romo. There's like 20 minutes for like the audience questions, and then 20 minutes for closing statements.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right, actually.
Let's go. Okay, let's see first people that haven't asked. If there's no one, I'll allow second questions. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Allison, have you asked a question before? Oh, okay. Okay, so it seems everyone has asked a question if they wanted to. Okay, I'll redo this. So if you have a second question, in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh wow, Omar.
Okay, my question goes to Pratham. I wanted to talk to him about his first initiative. Actually, it's this online event that he wants to bring everyone online, and this amazing idea that he has. Mad respect to it. But one question that I have in mind is: kids are sitting at home doing online studies in Zoom classes, and to be quite honest, it gets annoying to be online every time it's sitting on your desk. They want fresh air. They want human interaction. Why would they join this session? What makes them come here? I hope the question is clear. Thank you.
Thank you, Omer. I've thought about the same thing. That's why I have my other initiative, How to Marshall 101, for specifically the reason you said. Although we can't disregard the fact that a pandemic is happening, people can't just we can't meet up at the same frequency as we did before. And so this is a great initiative, the Ready Player One, where people can take time after class to hang out with the new people that they haven't met on Zoom in their class and bond through, as I said, virtual games, virtual escape rooms, and online multiplayer games. Hope that answers your question, Omer. Thanks.
Thank you both. Next question will be our last question, and then we'll have to move on to audience questions. So no matter if you have asked questions before, you can ask now. So 3, 2, 1, go. Pratham.
Well, thanks. So, Omer, I have a question for you this time. I have, as your ideas are great, it helps to raise awareness for novel causes, but yet I fail to see how this falls under the coordinator of external affairs mandate, where we are asked to create bridge with other student bodies.
Thank you for your question, Pratham. When I say new vision, I mean new direction. We don't have to wait for another CJEP to go and build connections with nonprofit organizations. And this nonprofit organization, such as WARAMS, it is related to medical fields. It is related to saving lives. And as an external affair, it is my job to bring connections. And I want to bring other CJEPs with WARAMS, because after all, WARAMS is a very important organization. They've been there for 100 years now, and they've been supporting this for a long time. And I want that CJEPs jump onto this, because if CJEPs jump onto this, we can change lives. And this is why I want to bring a new vision, a new direction. This is the whole point of the slogan. I hope that answers your question.
It does, thanks.
All right. Let's move on to audience questions. So we have a question from, oh, okay, I'll explain the rules first. So these questions are directed to every candidate. I will name you and you can speak. And you have 30 seconds for these. All right, so first one from Montreal entrepreneur Zessie Lee. If we were to return on campus next semester, what measures would you take to ensure the safety and reintegration of students? You can think about that for a bit. Let's start with the coordinators of cultural affairs, Cindy Zhao.
Yep. So of course there are the masks, the social distancing. That's basically what everyone is doing right now because that is what scientists are telling us to do, and of course we trust them. To ensure reintegration, of course, I think that during the orientation activities, we were all able to, at least I was able to talk to peers around me. I saw other people talk to. Even though we weren't wearing our masks, with our 2 meter distance, we were pretty safe. So that would be an easy way to talk to others, and that will slowly bring back to you and reintegration.
And thank you. Next, Angeliki Psycharis.
Okay, well, first off, we would also make sure everyone's following the COVID rules like social distancing, wearing sanitizer, and being safe. A big issue is that many people will probably still be scared and will not want to do many activities that we will be planning. That's why we should also just start off small, have smaller activities, such as my idea is to have dance workshops, make it limited the spaces, hosting art contests. And like one of my ideas was to make sure people take pictures with their flag and make it a collage to make the MSU logo. So just smaller projects at first, and then they'll get bigger as time goes on. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Leo Vancieux.
As a volunteer during the Welcome Back event, I saw firsthand how happy people were to get back to see each other, obviously, but most importantly, everybody was extremely serious about the safety rules at the school. The rules are actually not made by us, they are made by the administration. They have an extremely long protocol of safety rules that is very thorough and it's safe as much as we can. We all want to respect the rules of social distancing and wearing a mask and many others. But my plan is also to have small workshops, either virtual or on campus, while cooperating with the club. Like I said, I would
I'll
install.
have to cut you off here.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. And next is Yuzong Lu.
So I agree with everything that was just said. Of course, I think that we should respect social distancing rules. Of course, I also think that it's a good idea for students that are in vulnerable situations at home to still be able to study at home. And speaking specifically to coordinator of cultural affairs, I value adaptability. So all of my ideas will have alternatives for on campus, which is of course what I want to do as much as possible. However, virtual activities will also be something that I will work hard to do to offer different alternatives for all students. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Gordon.
So obviously, what I'd also recommend following the government regulations as well, the administration restrictions. But for my projects, such as the cultural appreciation parties, I'd just want them to all be outside because no matter what the government says or what the administration says, being outside will always just be safer than being inside. And even if you have a mask or a hand sanitizer, and being outside, you'll also get fresh air. You'll have more opportunities to talk with others since it'll be a more open space. And of course, yeah, you still follow all the government and administration regulations, but it'll be outside, so it'll be more fun. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is Eva.
Yeah. So for after compliance with government safety regulations, well, my ideas don't necessarily involve close contact, as I understand that people are either immunocompromised or just don't feel safe going out. First of all, protests can be done with masks and gloves. I did that. The online venting space is, as it says, online, so no contact at all. And lastly, I had an idea for fundraisers with an international film festival on Netflix Party, which is also completely online, so people don't have to feel that they put their health at risk to be involved. Thank you.
Thank you. So that was it for cultural affairs. Now let's go to external affairs. Amir, do you want to start? I'm so Amir?
Yes, sorry, I wasn't able to hear you.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's working now. So well, honestly, it all depends on how the future plans out. Because if there is a vaccine, I think coming back to school without a mask should be fine. And I think the vaccine should be mandatory before entering the school. But if there's no vaccine by then, I think that we should continue what we've been doing, such as wearing masks. And I've seen other schools, such as Cégep Saint Laurent, who already have physical classes do it. And what they do basically is that you have to wear your masks in the hallways, and when you get in class, you can take it off, but there's a 2 meter distancing between everyone in class. So I think it all really depends on the future.
Thank you. Next is Omer.
Yes, to answer this question, to begin with, we would definitely look at what high schools and primary schools are doing, because they've already opened up their schools and they're following strict protocols. And I got in contact with one of my actually high school because I'm in great contact with them. And what the first thing that I would definitely recommend is masks. And I don't remember, even before COVID, anyone touching each other, not leaving a 2 meter distance, because that doesn't really happen. But definitely we should keep a 2 meter distance. And lastly, I believe Marianopolis has a big campus, so there should be no problem in having 2 meter spaces and having kids in the class. Although that's something that we'll have to decide at the end when government releases new laws and new protocols. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Pratham.
Yes, thank you. So I think it all depends on how time unfolds. Next semester, that's in a long while, and because of the fragility of the situation, government makes constant changes in the rules and regulation. But if I were to spitball here, I think we can take example of Cégep Brébeuf. I have many connections there, and they have what they say a hybrid approach. Some of their classes are at school, while as other classes are asynchronous or synchronous meetings, as we do have it in college here. But
I'll
if
have
it
to cut you off here. I'm sorry.
perfect, thanks.
Next is Ilio.
Yes, so I will I will be sure to test all students if they have COVID-19 symptoms. I will keep the social distance rule and let students enter the CEGEP only if they don't have symptoms to ensure the best security. Also, I will make sure to make as many outdoors activities as I can. Thank you.
Thank you. And Melissa.
So my ideas are mostly outdoor activities, first of all. Second of all, as everyone said, mask, hand sanitizer, 2 meter social distancing, but also I'll try to keep my activities at least 2 weeks apart, so 14 days like this. If anyone has symptoms, we can alert everybody. And also, we would try to not have our activities in the hot zones, as the government publishes those data every few weeks. Like that, we can keep up with the news, and we won't have our activities at schools which are located in hot zones. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go to charities and volunteering. Anne-Sophie Lynn.
Yes, okay. Thank you. So, of course, an important aspect would be following the governmental guidelines, the school administration's policies on COVID-19. And for charities and volunteering, it's super important to also follow the protocol implemented by each organization for volunteers. And for reintegration, I'm already putting all my effort to actively tackle this issue by reaching out to students during orientation week through social media, engaging in discussions, creating group chats so we can connect, such as the one I created for honors social science students. And I'm also an admin of the Discord server for social science students. And I also been offering very actively help understanding courses, dealing with the heavy workload of assignments to my peers. And when
I'll have to cut you off here.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Perfect. I was done.
Theo?
Yeah. Okay. So I believe, of course, that we need to follow all of the basic rules, but to really ensure that we reintegrate all of the students, we need to take a progressive approach. So at first, we may have small events, and then we can have bigger and bigger events until we can actually go back to the classrooms and have normal classes. And the reason for that is that any event, especially during this time, requires an immense amount of planning. So we need to make sure that it's really progressive. This summer, as I volunteered in the hospital, I really noticed that the reopening of volunteer positions in the hospital was progressive, and I plan to inspire myself from that example.
Thank you. Next is Emily Hong.
Hello, everyone. So, of course, like all of you, I plan on respecting the government regulations and the school's administration's rules. Student safety is something that I prioritize a lot. So, for this reason, all of my fundraising ideas, except for the holiday food drive, which will be dropped off from students' cars, do have an online option. Therefore, everybody will feel included and will be able to participate in the activities. Also, I'm also planning a concrete project for when we do return on campus called Change for Change. It would be change
I have
boxes
to cut you
in the
off here
cafeteria.
now.
No
Sorry.
problem. Thank you.
John Ramos.
I think we all understand that we're living in a certain point that we don't know exactly what's going to happen in a week, a month, or even 2 months' time. So a lot of the things are very unpredictable. What I can say is that if the return to school does happen, it would happen progressively, possibly a hybrid version before a completely in school. But obviously, the government safety guidelines, Perel, all of that will be in place. As a person who really liked the approach of the Welcome Back event and the Sundays
I'll have to
Join
cut
the
you off
Club
here,
event.
John.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Peng Zhang.
Yes, so student safety will be my primary concern. As I mentioned before, virtual volunteering activities and charity events are something that I will definitely bring up. This will continue even when the situation getting better. This could allow people to have more choices, like opportunities around the world, and especially this is will double secure us to have zero touch with the virus. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And last, Alison Engel.
Okay, so I agree with all of your ideas, respecting government regulations and letting them decide since they are the experts here. But I would just like to add, on top of the mandatory mask wearing, I would install frequent hand washing stations around the school, as well as providing a ready supply of masks and PPE for anybody who forgets to bring their mask to school, so that we can all be safe. For the reintegration part, we can start reintegrating by forming
I'll
friendships
have to cut you off here.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. So let's move on to our second question from the audience. I will be very strict with the time from now on. I will cut you off at exactly 30 seconds. Because we are really tight with time right now. So How would you organize protests during COVID-19 period? And I'll start with Cindy Zhao.
I think that question was towards one person specifically, no? No? Okay.
No, it was, these questions are for every candidate. It was asked by Mona Wong.
All right, perfect. So if I was to have protests during COVID-19, of course, masks are mandatory, gloves, of course. The 2-meter social distancing has been very effective, of course, and I would like to use that. For protests, there's also making noise can have a lot of impact. So, and you don't have to be like 5,000 people at a 1-meter distance to make a lot of noise. So of course that would make sense. And yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. I'm sorry, there's some confusion on the support team right now. Let's go with Angelique Keeps-Harris.
Well, firstly, we would have to educate people and talk about the social and cultural issues that are happening. So people will be more encouraged to want to join the protest. But for the actual protest itself, once again, we'd have to make sure that the COVID measurements are all in place, reassuring the people so they actually will want to come, that they'll be 2 meters apart, they'll be wearing their masks, and to ensure that we're protesting, but still being safe at the same time. Thank you.
Thank you. Leo?
Well, first, I will bring attention to these issues. Like I said, I care a lot about these social justice issues, and I have seen protests take place safely during the Black Lives Matter event. Nearly everybody was respecting social distancing and wearing a mask, so that is obviously something that we would implement. Thank you.
Okay, next, Yuzheng Lu.
Yes, so just like everybody mentioned, of course, for protests, social distancing rules will be enforced. That's definitely a must. However, there are also a lot of alternatives that I mentioned previously, such as online workshops and discussions that I think would also be a really interesting alternative. And I think that there are also a lot of petitions we can sign. So aside from protests, I think there are a lot of interesting alternatives that more people could do online virtually to cater to everybody as coordinator of cultural affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Gordon?
So, as everyone else said, I would also recommend us follow the government regulations, as wearing masks, staying social distancing. But as much as everyone wants to follow the government regulations, there's always going to be some who aren't going to follow it. So I would want to have some volunteers who would be policing each other around. So I would so basically just enforcing the fact that like fellow protesters are also wearing masks, because there's also correlation in the BLM protests in a 2-week period with
I'll
a
have to
very
cut you
big
off,
spike
I'm sorry.
in infections. Thank you.
And Eva.
Yeah, so I think that protests are a fundamental part of any social justice movement, and they can't really be replaced because they're so impactful. The one I went to, everyone was wearing their masks, their gloves, they're staying apart, and since it's an open air, I've read studies that said that the possibility of transmission of COVID is very insignificant. But of course, people that don't want to go are never forced to engage in protests. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's go with charities. Anne-Sophie?
Yes. So I think that what's very important is that people take into account the risk for themselves and for others, and be responsible. That's part of volunteering and charity, the mindset of helping others and giving. And so it would be important that people monitor their symptoms before and after, and eventually isolate if necessary, if going to a protest. Thank you.
Thank you. Theo?
Okay, so if I'm going to organize a protest, we need to understand that protests are fundamentally different from other activities, right? So there's a lot of movement, people collaborate, people shout together. So we need to consider that. And we need to actually think of that when creating a special set of policies that we will use to inform people before the protest and make sure that everyone knows what the rules are so that during the protest, everything is safe and effective.
Thank you. Emily?
Hi. So if I were to organize a protest, I would definitely, like all of you said, ensure that everyone's wearing masks, social distancing, and etc. However, as someone who is running for coordinator of charities and volunteering, I know my responsibilities and the responsibilities of other coordinators, and based on the Congress bylaws. And I know that this domain is something that is within a mandate of coordinator of cultural affairs or social justice. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
So I wanted to bring my slogan into the discussion, which is bring the community to you. I know a lot of people want to assist in protests, and I think that's very, very good of people that they are aware of the social issues. So wearing a mask and frequent hand sanitizing possible maybe in the route would be a great way of doing this. But I also know a lot of people that are at home would like to participate but don't feel comfortable. So an online alternative or other alternatives, as other people have mentioned, I think are the best ways of doing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Peng Zhang?
Yes, so first of all, I will follow the safety measures, and also every protest has a cause. So I will find what is the cause of the protest, and if it's something related to like other department, I will collaborate with the members of other departments, and or if it's a question about like the charities and volunteering, I will definitely solve this problem and give a feedback to the students. Thank you.
Thank you. Allison?
So as Gordon said, it would be great to have people around policing and making sure that people in the process are maintaining social distancing and respecting guidelines. I do know that, as Emily said, it's not part of my mandate as coordinator of charities and volunteering. However, I would love to help gather volunteers to reinforce the security measures.
Thank you. Let's move on to external affairs. Melissa?
So as everyone said before, it is the mandate of the coordinator of cultural affairs. So I will be coordinating with her or him. This is just some of my ideas of ways we could do it. First of all, if we do it the traditional way, of course, mask, gloves, glasses. If other ways we could do online protests, or we can do even silent protests, which is kind of just everyone comes together, we sit 2 meters apart, and then we don't talk, which is also it's really impactful. But like this, there's no shouting, so if people who are scared of the virus transmitting do the shouting, they wouldn't have that fear anymore. Or else we can even have just.
I'll have to stop you here.
Sorry.
That's okay. Where am I at? Elio.
Yes, so in this case, I can't control if everybody have COVID-19 symptoms or not, so mask and social distance and hand sanitizer are mandatory. Also, I will try to make a schedule of time and number of people to limit the number of persons in protests. Thank you.
Thank you. Pratham.
Thank you, Suen. So yeah, protests are for sure a powerful way to let your opinion know. Although for some causes, if we wager the impact and the risks because of the COVID pandemic going around, we are at a loss. So for those causes, I would be keener to shift into an online mode, such as petitions and online protests. But even then, if there's a will, there's always a way. Thanks.
Thank you. Omar.
I would like to make the positive out of everything. So even if there's COVID-19 during protest is super important. So what we're gonna do, like what I would have as an idea to get in contact with the coordinator of cultural affair, I would tell that person individually to get time slots ready for protests. So 10 people come during this time, 10 come that, 10 come that. Get your tickets to come to protest, just to have it organized. And also masks, gloves, everything will have to be there. And yeah, I hope that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you. Last but not least, Amir.
Well, to answer your question, I've actually I helped organize the protest against police brutality that happened on June, back in July, actually, the one at Berry-UQAM. And what we did basically was first of all, we made sure, we tried our best to make sure that people respected social distancing. We gave out masks and gloves to everyone. And basically, also for the people who wanted to participate but they were at risk, we basically did kind of a live stream on Facebook to make sure that they felt like that they participated in the event. So to answer your question, I already have experience organizing these kind of protests.
I'll have to cut you off here.
Thank you.
So these were the last audience questions. We will move on to the closing statements. So each candidate has 45 seconds for their closing statements. And please state your name when you are saying your statement. We will start with Melissa Young.
Hi, my name is Melissa Yang. I'm running for coordinator of external affairs. As you all know, I plan on making as many many activities as possible, and to keep them as safe as possible with COVID. Well, my most reasonable and most concrete idea that I've actually communicated with Trudy is the s'mores party, and if I get elected, I will bring that to the Congress for sure. Also, the main reason you should probably choose me is because this is very important to me as well, as I know it is to you. I'm a very social person and I actually need these activities. So I hope you vote for me. Melissa Yang for external affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Elio.
Yes, so my name is Elio Gordonovsky, and I will work as hard as I can to be sure to make student life interesting. Thank you.
Thank you. Pratham?
Thank you. I have meticulously molded my campaign so that your two fundamental goals are fulfilled, so that you guys have the successful college experience that you were promised by past and present students. My Plant Ready project, Ready Player One, and How to Montreal 101 will hopefully quench your thirst of socializing in these tough times. And my intercollegiate TED Talks and my Plant Light of the Future will bring you more opportunities for you to get involved in the professional world that we all are going to go in 2 years. Remember, if there's a will, there's always a way. We'll consider voting for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Omar?
Yes. So my name is Omar Ahmed. I'm running for external affairs. So to begin with, as you guys know, I have a lot of ideas planned, bringing a hockey event, bringing a hockey tournament, bringing a cultural event happening, cultural day, because every culture matter, every person matter, every one of you guys matter. So I also have a Google form for that. And for all more information, just visit my website. It's going to be super easier. And one last thing I wanted to say, yes, you need a will, but also you need a new vision. You also definitely need a new direction. And not only that, consider voting for me because I really care about every one of you guys out there, as you guys already know. All right, guys, take care.
Thank you. Amir?
Hello, everyone. My name is Amir, as you know by now. I know that COVID has kind of ruined your college experience, and what I plan on doing is getting that back to you. So more on campus, less online. And another thing that I want to focus on is your future. That's why I'm planning to bring professionals and students who study and work in your fields to school to answer all of your questions that you might have regarding the field of your interest. And another thing that I'm planning with Montréal Relève is to get an internship for everyone who applies for their field of interest. So I want to focus on your college experience and your future. Thank you so much, and you should consider voting for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's go for the closing statements of charities and volunteering. Anne-Sophie?
Yes, so my name is Anne, and I'm running for coordinator of charities and volunteering. To our dear Marinopolis fellows in the audience, thank you so much for participating in tonight's debate so late and sharing with us some of your concerns and questions. I'm super grateful for the support you have shown for my platform so far, and I hope you will stay tuned until Friday. I have a special and original concept of double impact events coming up, so stay informed. To all the candidates, it was a pleasure to get to know you more thoroughly, and no matter where our distinct paths will take us, it will be a pleasure to work with you. Being the only candidate to have already reached out to and communicated with student services, charities, and club execs and received positive feedback and support, I will put all my effort into bringing this initiative to life. Please stay safe, stay sane, spread positivity, and vote for more impact with less hustle. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Theo.
Hi, so I'm Theo, and I'm running for the position of coordinator of charities and volunteering. And once again, my goal is really to allow every student to have unique volunteer opportunities using the new system that I created, which is actually personalized and is catered to every single student differently. And basically, this plan includes listening, building, and incorporating. And you can actually learn more about it through my campaign posts on Facebook and on Instagram, and I encourage you to do so. So I'm really happy to show all of my ideas and to be a candidate for this position. Theo for MSU. Thank you.
Thank you. Emily?
My name is Emily Hong, and I'm running for coordinator of charities and volunteering this year. In times like these, Marinopolis needs someone who is dedicated, passionate, driven, and experienced, and that's exactly what I am. Not only do I have a clear-cut plan of what I want to do as your coordinator of charities and volunteering, I plan on making your year easy, enjoyable, and accessible for all. Sorry. So not only do I plan on creating a bunch of interesting and fun activities for you guys, I will centralize volunteering information, work closely with student clubs, be a resource person for anyone, and most importantly, create a safe and positive environment where you guys will be encouraged and supported. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Hi, everyone. I'm John Bramos, and my slogan for my campaign is Bring the Community to You. I really want you guys to help the world and to help your community that you care about. So we're going to put the you in community. I'm going to listen, I'm going to discuss with you, and I'm going to help. Three simple steps in my plan to help you help the world be a better place. For that reason, please just go onto my Instagram page for any other little details, such as events and other ideas I have. Thank you very much. Vote for John for coordinator of charities and volunteering.
Thank you. Next is Peng.
Hello everyone, my name is Peng. Due to the COVID situation now, my main goal as a coordinator of charities and volunteering is to provide a safe environment for all students to have volunteering opportunities and charity events. That means I will try my best to create more virtual activities. Another important goal that I would like to reach is to get more students involved in volunteering and fundraising. If you haven't seen my idea about the VF passport and website for volunteering and fundraising, please go check them out on my Facebook and Instagram. I'm willing to create a safe and fun environment for students and build our Marinopolis through giving. I am Peng Zhang, and you will not regret for choosing me as your coordinator of charities and volunteering. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next is Allison.
Hi everyone, I'm Allison Engo and I'm going for Coordinator of Charities and Volunteering. So my platform is rooted in the goals for Marinopolis. I want to help you expand your horizons and make a difference. So volunteering will be my main priority. I hope to take the first step with you, but ultimately you are the one who has to make the journey. We're not just here to be students, we should be here to learn about what role we play in society. So when you help others, you make a positive difference in people you care about. But not only that, you also get to bring out the best version of you. So you heard plenty of good ideas for fundraising, but when I talk about a platform, this is what I'm gonna base my ideas on. So that's why I created the Mary Volunteering Translation Opportunity. And of course, on top of this novel idea, I would want to support the groups that already exist, like clubs at Mary or local organizations out there. So if you vote for me, I will definitely help you help others. Thank you. And thank you for your time, everybody. I really appreciated it.
Thank you. And on to cultural affairs. Cindy?
Yep. So COVID has hit us hard, but we will strike back. We will make the most out of our CDEP experience. With all the activities that I'm envisioning, like the movie nights, we'll come to school, bring our own buckets, lawn chair, food contest, giant Kahoot game, come test your knowledge, live performances, and the lunch discussion program that I'm all planning and envisioning on having at school in person. Those are activities that you guys will be able to have the chance and the opportunity to represent your culture, your heritage, your background. Even though this isn't what we wanted, this is what we planned, you guys also have to keep in mind that the possibilities are countless. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you. Angeliki?
Hi, I'm Angelique Harris, and I'm running for the position of Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. I have many ideas that have not been yet mentioned or done before by any of my candidates and peers, like the dance workshops, the calls where you can learn the basics of one of your peers' languages, the recreation of the MSU logo, where students take a picture of themselves holding up their flag, the Vox Populi, and donating gifts to orphans during Christmas time. I also think it is very important that we are all having fun while tackling social issues, like my idea for the fundraiser for the Native Women's Association of Canada. It is a good mix of students meeting up, having fun while tackling these issues and still being immersed in the culture. I will also make sure that all events I plan are accessible to everyone. You don't necessarily have to be a part of that culture to have fun and learn about it, but I still think it's very important that the lesser known holidays are still celebrated because it is important that everyone feels included. Thank you so much for your time today and vote for Angie. Thank you.
Thank you. Leo?
Hi, my name is Leo Vanchu and I'm running for Cultural Affairs. If you have to remember one thing about me, it's that I want to bring life back to Marinopolis. Now, I will do that through flexibility and by cooperating with the clubs at our school. I will adjust myself to COVID-19 to provide the best experience to each and every one of you. This includes a platform with either on-campus or virtual workshop with clubs, events with performances, and online projects. Also, I will always communicate my intents and be open to suggestions, questions, anything really. I want to make sure that your voice is heard. Thank you so much, and I hope I can count on your support.
Thank you. Yuzhang?
So, hi everyone, my name is Yuzhang. I'm running for Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. I plan on supporting and promoting cultural and religious club initiatives, and I also have a lot of creative ideas that are inclusive, such as collaborative student music playlists and market them out on Facebook and Instagram. My campaign is all about inclusivity. This means ensuring all students feel at home at Marinopolis. Adaptability, that means alternatives for both virtual and on-campus activities, and open-mindedness. Above all, I'm always willing to hear what you have to say, so reach out to me or I can reach out to you. Thank you for watching this debate today. I hope that my platform resonated with you. Vote Yuzhang for Cultural Affairs. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Gordon.
Hi, my name is Gordon and I'm running for Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. So I believe that I've already shown my passion and energy for this position since I've already moved forward with some promises, such as obviously the cultural Minecraft server. as well as actually I will be hosting a giant Kahoot game show tomorrow. You can check out my latest post on MSU for that. And right, this cultural Minecraft server where different cultures can be shared and appreciated. And additionally, I would like to add that Hispanic Heritage Month will be coming up on September 15th, and I will definitely be planning something for that. And please vote for me for a more connected cultural experience. Thank you for attending the debate.
Thank you. And last but not least, Eva.
Yeah, so I would like to say that a vote for me is a vote for equality. It's a vote for fighting the racism that is much too present in our society. It's a vote for opening students' eyes to the struggles that their POC classmates struggle with on the daily. And it's a vote for fundraisers along the way. So that's all I had to say. Thank you for taking the time and listening to this debate, and vote Eva Carignan for Coordinator of Cultural Affairs. Thank you.
And that was it, everyone. Thank you for all participants, candidates, for participating in this debate. It was very interesting. And thank you for all students and audience for listening in to this debate. We invite all students to vote. The voting channel will be open on Omnivox on Saturday at noon until Monday 4 p.m. It was very nice to see all of you. Have a good evening.
Thank you, everyone. Best of luck.
Thanks, everyone.
Have a good evening,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Thank you very much, guys. Bye.
Thank you.
Peace.